the survey asked if they'd experienced any racism.
For a broader context, please go back and watch her video, because it actually goes into great detail. And because of what we do with the Black Child Agenda, tackling schools to prison pipeline, we represent children in education. And imagine being a child, and this is the thoughts of a teacher who is there to put that are being paid to look after you, to actually teach you and treat you fairly and unbiasedly. When you're 5 years old, how do you explain to your parent that someone's being racist towards me? When you're 10, when you're 15 years old, and then when that child gets to that age of 10, 15, 16, and by then they're so frustrated that they're now kicked out of school, they're now permanently excluded from school because of low level disruption, because they're not listening to teachers' commands or demands or whatever it may be. But then if you have a teacher just like that manager, what else would you expect from the child? Children can't defend themselves against adults because they're also told that they're lying, it's unbelievable, you must have misinterpreted what the teacher said, we don't tolerate racism in our schools, so on and such like. It's such a tragic tale, and it's such a story that if this is going on in the workplace amongst adults, could you only imagine what children are facing on a daily basis? Can you only imagine what children are facing on a daily basis in schools? And when we say and we're calling out racist discrimination within the education system, people tell us that we're playing the race card. We didn't invent that card. We didn't bring those cards to the table. And if we were playing it, then we'll be playing the whole damn deck, because it's not playing of any cards. It is a fact. It is a statistical fact. The data is out there. There's been report after report after report on racism, systemic racism in British society, in the education system, in the NHS, in the workplace. She has just highlighted it herself, and now it's going for investigation, because now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we don't tolerate that. So imagine just last year, 2023, around about this time, the government decided that actually schools reporting racism, logging racist incidents, whether that be verbally, whether that be physical violence, whatever it looks like, does not need to be reported or recorded in schools. However, just in 2021, the Guardian newspaper brought out a report that over 65,000 children have faced racist discrimination or been called racist names, or anything to do with racism has happened within their schools, and they're not able to tell anyone. You just smoke that pipe for a while to actually understand what we're talking about here. So before all of you naysayers, usually you guys, who come and say, well, cheat children should just be better behaved. How do you behave better when someone is treating you differently to everybody else when you're 5 years old, when you're 7, when you're 10, when you're 15? You can't comprehend why you're being treated differently, but you are being treated differently solely based on the colour of your skin. Why your work is being marked down solely based on the colour of your skin. Why it is that a group of you, 5, 6 children, have all done exactly the same thing, but you are the only one that's been permanently excluded and placed in a pupil referral unit solely based on the colour of your skin. And you're a child. Explain that. Someone please help me here. Because at the end of the day, if this is what's going on in the workplace, and we know only those who feel it know it, and when we speak about it, we're shut down. I am grateful to the fact that there are more lines of communications being open to actually tackle this issue. I am grateful for the fact that organisations like ours, who are out there very unapologetic, representing our children against racism, racist discrimination, bullying, and every single form of abuse. Because that's what it is. The fact that this is not seen as abuse, the fact that this is not really seen as a safeguarding measure, the fact that children are not protected against bullies who are paid to look after them for what, 6 hours, 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday. I'm leaving my child with you so that they can be abused racially, so that you can mark down their work, so that you can accuse them of things that they haven't done. Come on now. We've got to be honest and serious about this subject. And until we're honest and serious with ourselves and our own racism and our own discrimination, it will never end. There's many of you that follow our page. There's many of you that followed our previous page who understood what we were talking about. But we know that there's a lot of you who are just not too bright, so wouldn't actually get the context of everything we're discussing. We're not just talking about, oh, everything's racist. No. We're talking about lived experiences. We're talking about what is still happening in 2024 to innocent children. Because children are innocent. Children don't care what colour you are, where you come from, your background. Children are just children. But it comes from the top down. And if your school's not addressing it, if your school's not doing anything about it, take it all the way. That's what we specialise in. Email us if you choose. But it is something that is a problem, and it is something that needs to be dealt with. So I'm grateful to this creator for actually highlighting this problem, and we're going to continue to talk about it until something's done.